happy Sunday. We're a little far from where we have been, but just heading down to Mike and Peter's. They have a bag of mine that I need to take home in order to put my sensors in. So we're doing that right now, and sensors are sort of the latest things. I mean, the whole idea is to stop lows before they happen. Now, highs seem to be a little bit more easy to treat. Well, they are for me anyway. Let me see, how do I look at it? A little dark, but that's the sun. So, anyway, for me, but they say, and I kind of agree, that, blood sugar's closest, I think it's, Good morning. Well, we're living in a different location. When I stayed at my friend's last weekend, I left my sensors there. Well, not my sensors, but my bag that I use to attach the sensors. And, maybe we'll do one while we're there. Now, sensors seem to be the new hottest thing. And there's always a diabetic that, wants all the bells and the whistles. And the province wouldn't give them to us because they counted them as an accessory, which meant that you couldn't have them if you needed them. And I know I had to fight to get the right to have them, and I tried to wear them pretty diligently. If someone else is buying equipment for you, whether it be an insurance company or someone else, you want to make sure that you use it. I don't think everyone has the need for every new little thing. Myself, I needed the sensors to warn me about impending diabetic danger, which I also have a dog, but it was a hope that these would wake, and if I went low anyway, it would alert. But, your pumps will work without sensors. You can just get sensors by themselves. I believe it's Dexcom. The Medtronic ones need the pump in order to read. But, it's all good. If you have access to the sensors and you want to use them, by all means. I'm not saying no. What I am saying is there are new stuff coming out for diabetes all the time. Sorry, we have the dog chatting at us. But it's great that these things are available, but kind of not everything they come up with is suitable for me. And that's fine. I'm not upset about it. There's sort of like you have this, or but you don't need it. When you buy a new Medtronic pump, you get sensors with it. I think it's a package of 5. And once those are gone, you're not expected. The hope is that you will buy them. So, all good. But keeping things easy going. But if you're utilizing the sensors, you should utilize them the best that you can and use the information efficiently. So many people have the things and they don't bolus, and again they wonder, well, why is my blood sugar up? So we'll just go down and we'll see if Mikey and Petey are around, and then we'll go to the drugstore and then back home to Mom. But I'll be back shortly because we'll have to go for another walk to get to the Skytrain. Talk to you later. Okay, so we went to visit Mikey and Petey, got a sensor in. I got my sensor supplies, so now we can go home. Actually, I think we have to head to the mall. Well, it could be still crazy with high school kids, and should get a proper sheet and everything else, but we'll see. I know we need to do Apple, at least get another Apple adapter and going, and see if they have any other ideas for charging. Just 1 sec. So, be careful with your sensors. Make sure you calibrate. Well, a lot of them will only work for so long, and then they will die down. So you want to make sure that you keep them calibrated, that you change them when they can, or when they are needed to be changed, that you don't hold off and say, oh, well, I'll do it later. That doesn't work. But you need to always ensure that your sensors are doing what they're supposed to. Now, I laid down after I got back from, my meetings, and I woke up and the alarm was going, and it said high predicted. Okay. So, once I kind of more came through it, I checked it again, and it said low predicted. So I really didn't know what to do. I tested, and it was actually high. I calibrated, and it hasn't come back, giving me calibrate again reading or anything close like that. So this is a good thing. But there's a lot more to it than just taking the reading for the sake of what the reading is. a lot of times we just assume because, oh, it's a computer, it must be correct. Well, if you don't calibrate, and if you, I find a lot of times if you're not hydrated, it can go off. And I don't know if this is an official thing. Just with me, it's reacted that way. So, you should take control of your diabetes and not have your diabetes control you. How many times have we heard that? But it's so true. And we talked before about, people saying, oh, well, I'm not hearing the ringing. Why aren't you jumping to action? Well, because I've heard this 15 times. And I really don't like to constantly be reminded. But it's your health, and a sensor is a tool to help. The same as your keto set is a tool. And if you're not going to use the tool, then don't go out and say, oh, I've got to buy it, I've got to have it. I got to admit, last night my sensor died. And today I had to wait because Mike and Petey had a bag of mine which had my little pouch that I carry my sensors around in. And you know what? It's there. And I changed it. And sometimes within the first 12 hours, I get a misreading. Now, things happen. But after that, I do a correction and it seems to go on its merry way, and we have a grand old time until it dies. But I couldn't believe when it said that it died, or it's time to change sensor or sensor end. And I checked at it, and just the fountains around our place, it said 6 days. And to me, it didn't matter 6 days. But I was able to extend it. And I got a new sensor, and so, like I say, hopefully it'll all work out and move along. But utilize, if you have insurance and you want to use it to get sensors, get them, but remember they do expire. And they aren't any good once they expire. But each of the sensors are pretty expensive. So only take it if you need it. I know I heard someone say, but if we all buy the sensors, and then, it'll make a glut, and then the price will come down. Well, that could be, but It could also, sorry about that, it can also give a false impression that people need something and then they don't, and then they're just going to end up stopping making it because sales start to drop. If they have a realistic value, then that's probably going to be the better for everyone. So it's getting dark and I've got to post this, and we'll try to get going in the morning. Today it was kind of blah to get going. I was still kind of tired, and I miss having a TV in my room. Mom's got it out in the living room, and it's, oh well, they're so cheap, buy another. Yeah, cheap for a lot of people. I don't have the excess money to go out and buy another. But anyway, have a good night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye now.